Good afternoon, Rockwood South staff. Welcome to Friday and October. And I know it's October, but wow, is it still hot outside. I just got back from the crosswalk, so whew, it's good to be back inside in air conditioning. At any rate, you know what time it is. It's time for another blast. All right, we're going to jump right into our instructional focus. You know, here at Rockwood South that we are focused on student-centered instructional strategies that really engage students with the cooperative learning acronym of PIES. I saw exactly that happening in Sarah Wabi's classroom this week. This is an example that you see here of her using Quiz Trade in a purposeful way to support students in reviewing for an upcoming assessment. Then she took that a step further. She used a think, pair, share structure that by the end of that sharing, she had kids sharing in partners, but then at their table to build consensus on their answers. Following that consensus, she then used random selection to have students sharing out among the class. So the entire classroom was learning from one another. It was impressive to see the individual accountability and the way kids were positively interdependent among one another as they learned together. I also was really impressed with the level of academic vocabulary her students were using as they were sharing their responses. Excellent, excellent job. And now I want to give a shout out to someone who continues to make a difference for our Falcon family, and that is Miss Patty Yoss. You guys know Miss Yoss was a math teacher here at Rockwood South for many years. And now, even though she's retired, she still joins us every Tuesday afternoon. She comes into study hall and supports so many students with their math homework and assignments. I know that she also works with students in one of our after school clubs on that same day. So if you see Miss Yoss, tell her thank you. We are so fortunate to have her within our Falcon community now and forever. And now moving into the PSO Sky High fundraiser. As you know, many wishes were granted just recently, and that Sky High fundraiser has kicked off. It will be throughout the month of October. Our PSO is really hoping to fund all of those wishes. And if your wish was not approved this time around, we can work with you on that. We've got some other ways and some other ideas to support you in still meeting that same goal with your wish. So I'll be reaching out to you soon. All right, now I want to jump back to our instructional focus because we talk a lot about not only student-centered learning, but also assessment-capable learning practices. Those are the two key areas of focus that we are trying to accomplish every single day in order to reach our learning goal here at South. In order to have assessment capable learning strategies happening within your classroom, your PLT must be your most solid foundation. And so I want to share with you our 8th grade science PLT sharing how their PLT has become the foundation of this work and the work that they are doing. It's impressive. You really need to check it out. Take a listen. All right, we are with Miss Cynthia Biddle and Miss Kimberly Mizey, PLT Science Masterminds here. And I'm excited to talk to you guys because you've been doing some amazing work in your PLT. Can you talk a little bit about the collaborative scoring the two of you are doing with it's your pre-assessment, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, talk to us about that a little bit.
Go for it, Cynthia.
We created the pretest and we also made a key, and then we compared our answers in the key, and then we went through each of the answers to see what the other person wanted from the answer. So we each had what she thought was correct and what I thought was correct. And then we utilized the scoring guide that we had created together. And it also has come from LabAids. And then we put it into student-friendly terms as well as teacher use terms. And then once we started going through some of the student answers and comparing them to our scoring guide, then we even sought out the curriculum proficiency scales to make sure that we weren't asking something above what was in our district document. So that way we had the same basis across both of ours.
Yeah, I mean, on the day that I came and saw you guys in action, that was something really profound from your conversation, that you each had a different take on like the level of complexity that these students' answers should have. And then you decided to look back at that proficiency scale to determine, okay, wait a minute. So they're not asking for this level.
Right.
So how can we adjust either the question or the way in which we're scoring it? I thought that was really cool to hear.
Right. And it really actually sparked some great conversation between the two of us about common language that we're looking for with from the students themselves, and things that we were looking for within their answers. So kind of at a loss of what else to say right now.
Well, and I think it also helps us that even if I get stuck on an answer, Kimberly is always available. I'd read her the answer and I'll say, what did you think about this? How would you score that? So we can start to get to know each other better. And then that leads to the sameness of our scorings across each of our classes.
Yeah, it really creates equitable grading practices.
Yes.
Well, and I like the way you guys are using each other for support, because even in addition to the collaborative scoring, I know you guys are also using data from Formative, and you're pinpointing specific questions that kids struggled with.
Yes.
And from that information, what I've seen you guys do is you ask each other, like, okay, my kids struggled with this. How did you teach this?
Right. Yeah, because maybe she taught it in a different way and I didn't cover it that way. And then I can go back and use the same technique that she used. Then that way we can see if that changed any of the answers or the kids' understanding of it.
Yeah, absolutely. How do you feel like your PLT has grown over time to be at this level where you're now creating these common scoring guides, these common assessments, and you're collaboratively scoring? Because this is all things that you have done.
Well, obviously last year was my first year here. So I think last year was a lot of us just trying to get to know each other's teaching styles, and me learning from Cynthia because she's the veteran here. So it was a great year for me just to kind of immerse myself in curriculum, and to, again, just to learn from Cynthia. But to be able to do this year, I feel like we're really able to take our PLT a step or two further and really focus on what it means to be a PLT, where you're not just sitting and working side by side together, but you really have that collaboration part where you are a team. You're focused on an end goal. You're working together to achieve it.
I agree with that too. I think we had a lot of pieces last year, and it was a great start. I mean, to have those common assessments that we were always using, but I think we're taking it deeper this year. We're looking at individual questions and having much more pointed conversations. Going to the science training in Colorado really made me understand that I wasn't supposed to be using 9 different scoring guides, that we're focusing in on this one. And then by us working together and her experience in teaching as well, we can utilize a scoring guide way more effectively with our knowledge. And then coming back and looking at the standards, now that we know that we have a scoring guide that works on specific questions in our book from our resource, then we can make sure that we're honing in on the right level of academics that we're looking for.
I'm back here celebrating because that's like the foundation for assessment capable learning. That's just absolutely amazing. I mean, you get it. Like, you need to hone in on specific skills and keep that scoring guide throughout the year. So, I mean, the work you guys are doing is just absolutely phenomenal.
Well,
And
she's a great team member.
Oh, so is she.
thank you. Thank you for taking a minute just to share about your practice. I know that this is going to help so many people to gain perspective as to what's happening in our PLTs, especially your PLT. So thank you.
Absolutely.
You're welcome.
You're very welcome.
All right, guys. As you can see, they're doing some amazing work, guys. They're creating scoring guides together that are based on standards, essential standards, and they're taking that essential standard and skill throughout their year so that kids are seeing the same criteria and scoring guide over and over so they can really track their progress and set goals for learning. And they're collaboratively scoring some of that work together to ensure that they are having equity in their grading practices and that they're learning from one another. Two huge strategies. So shout out to Kimberly and Cynthia and Dakota. I know that you're in there with them sometimes too, and that you also get to participate. Amazing work. If you want to learn more about what their PLT is doing, please don't hesitate to reach out to our Science 8th grade PLT. All right, staff, with that, remember, we've got professional development on Monday. We will begin at 8:00 a.m. in our cafeteria. And from there, we are going to have individuals who will be leading breakout sessions. You will attend 3 breakout sessions with our very own Rockwood South staff members leading the way. And then you'll be able to come back. We'll close up in the cafeteria. And then in the afternoon, you will be with your specific content area for district level curriculum professional development. So we will see you here on Monday. Until then, have a fantastic weekend. Take care, Falcons.